Like, I want to know why it is that female on male essay isn't taken as seriously as a man assaulting a woman. Why is it not taken as seriously? Why isn't it? Like, I want to know the answer to this question because it feels like society tries to downplay a man being a victim of SA by another man or by a woman, and it tries to turn it into a joke or a punchline for a joke. However, it does it in such a distasteful way that it's no longer funny, because you may get away with one or two jokes in pop culture here and there, but there are some people who literally propagate the notion that a man can't be essayed by a woman because he's a man. And the problem is, jokes like that, I feel, are harmful to the stigma that male victims of female offenders go through when it comes down to not being able to open a dialogue about surviving it and about trying to encourage others to come forward if a woman has victimized them in that way. Like, the reason I oppose the believe all women idea, it's not because it's because we need to make sure that the person they're actually accusing is actually guilty of the crime. I mean, when a man is even accused of these things, with no proof yet, just the mere utterance that they are that thing destroys their entire life. Their friends may disown them, not disown them, their friends may just disassociate with them wholesale. Their family might disown them. They might be fired from their job. They might be alienated from their peers at work or anywhere in public where people that they know would recognize them. And for some reason, when someone's proven to lie about a person like that, they get to just walk away. Yeah, they're known for being a liar now, but does that really undo anything at all that that person went through when they were falsely accused? Is that going to get their job back? Is that going to undo the mental anguish they went through of possibly losing their friends or their families or their jobs? Is that going to repair the damage they experienced when they were constantly wondering whether or not someone might attack them in the street and kill them in an act of vigilante justice for a crime they didn't even commit? I mean, why does no one care about that? Why is that not an issue that people feel is relevant and must be discussed? We have people complaining about nonsense a lot. I mean, more than a lot. It's like abundantly clear that most people don't give a damn about anything that goes on around them, unless it's convenient for their personal endeavors, unfortunately. Now, not everyone's like this, but those that are know who they are. But the fact is, nobody wants to talk about what happens when a man is essayed by a woman, because people will constantly put him down, belittle him, and say, you couldn't have been through this because you must have liked it, because you happen to have a penis. That's what decides whether or not you are guilty or innocent of a crime that someone may accuse you of falsely to destroy your life. I mean, there are so many cases of men committing suicide when they're accused of that crime, and then, like, years down the line, they end up being proven innocent by DNA evidence some years later, because a bunch of people whose heart may have been in the right place at the time, believed the accusation of someone that didn't even know this person. I mean, there was actually a story in late 2015, I believe it was Sonoma, California. A group of high school girls had actually intended on accusing a male student that went to their school of SA just because they didn't like him. Now, luckily, one of them turned on the other three and said, "Fuck you, I'm not gonna do that. This is fucked up." But yeah, people have done that in the past, and it's not crazy to believe that people are doing it presently and could do it in the future to other people. Why is it that if a woman is accused of SA by someone, it is not believed at all? Or if it is believed, it's only believed after an absorbent amount of evidence has to be collected to even consider the possibility of guilt. But if someone accuses a man of this crime with the same lack of evidence, they are crucified and nailed to the wall over it. And their lives are destroyed, their families are possibly damaged or destroyed, friendships are probably ruined and completely disassociated and removed. Employment is most likely going to be terminated because the company doesn't want to handle that person as a liability. And a lot of the times, these things are proven to be false. I'm not going to say all the time, because there's most certainly times where people are confirmed to do what they were accused of. There's most certainly times where people were 100% confirmed to be guilty. But the problem is, for all the people that are innocent, and for all the real victims who have to live with that, it's harder for them to be believed when other people falsely accuse someone. It's harder for people that want to be able to live their lives without fear of being accused of something falsely. They just avoid communicating with anyone in their workspace because they don't want to be accused of being someone who's trying to sexually harass a female coworker. When you live in a society where you can't even say, "Hello, how are you doing today?" or "Good morning" to a coworker without the possibility of being sent to HR, you live in a world that's way too shitty to live in. Not only that, but the fact is, if you're a man who's essayed by a woman, you're not believed. And if you are believed, it's only after you provide way more evidence than it would have taken her to accuse you of the same thing. We have to figure this stuff out. There has to be a unilateral, unisex approach to SA investigations, and punishment for falsifying claims of SA. There has to be a unilateral standard established. I don't care if someone gets upset with this, but there needs to be a standard established so that accusations can be investigated to the best of everyone's ability. And that even regards cases of he said, she said. If there are inconsistencies, one of them is bound to be figured out, whether it's the accuser or the accused. There's only one way to know for sure, and that's if you find more inconsistencies in one story than the other that could quite possibly point you in the right direction.